Welcome to episode 5 of Autonomous John, where I bring you high-tech news from my low-tech basement. This is the week of February 4th, 2019. Let's talk about some news items from last week. Lots of news last week on what is being called the parking problem. Adam Millard-Ball, an associate professor of environmental studies at the University of California, Santa Cruz, recently published a paper kind of all over the net right now. Lots of people are talking about it. It covers chiefly what's known as kind of the parking problem, which really discusses the fact that in major metro markets, it will actually be cheaper for autonomous vehicles to stay in a low cruise mode as opposed to paying for expensive parking when they don't have passengers, because an autonomous vehicle can continuously move, doesn't require a driver. As it drops off one passenger and it's looking for another, it can kind of stay cruising around the city. The idea of this is that it will cause further congestion in an already very congested area. In his paper, he predicts that just 2,000 more or 2,000 autonomous vehicles on the road of San Francisco could actually slow traffic to about 2 miles per hour. He doesn't just cover these issues without offering his own solutions, and these solutions involve imposing regulations and fees on autonomous vehicles to kind of help curb this issue. He has what he calls congestion pricing, which is kind of two different alternatives. One is a time-based charge for vehicles occupying the right-of-way, and another is a distance or energy-based charge. So both of these are supposed to kind of help these issues. From my perspective, it's just nice to see that these sorts of things are being considered as we move closer to autonomous vehicles being integrated into, kind of with manual cars, but eventually to kind of fully take over. I think it's very important that there's people running these models, both for policymakers to kind of help gauge decisions on how we're going to regulate autonomous vehicles as they enter cities, but also to get public buy-in. Embark and Amazon, do they have an official partnership? This is the question that has been floating around the internet over the last week or so. Embark, of course, is a aftermarket autonomous vehicle technology company. They make autonomous systems that are specifically geared at semi-tractors, and they have in the past talked about working with Fortune 500 companies, which is where some of the speculation about this partnership comes from. But kind of the more evidence that kind of came out, or the more exciting piece of evidence that came out, is recently on Reddit, a picture surfaced with a tractor with Embark aftermarket equipment on it, pulling an Amazon trailer. The reason why this speculation is there is because Amazon does operate a pretty sizable fleet themselves. They are kind of a huge logistics company in the back end of what you order on the internet. They also kind of have a bunch of warehouses throughout the country. Amazon is also most certainly working in the autonomous space in some capacity. At the very least, and unquestionably, they're partnered with plenty of autonomous vehicle companies on their cloud side of their business, because it is a pretty core side of their business. And when you work with autonomous vehicles, there's lots and lots of data, and that data needs to be stored somewhere. So Amazon surely stores a bunch of that data. As of this recording, neither Embark nor Amazon has had any sort of formal admission or denial of any sort of formal partnership. But the way the internet works, you can't really stop it. I'm sure we will have some sort of confirmation in either they are working together or they are not working together in any sort of official capacity. I'm sure those details will come out in the next few weeks. Let's talk security for a second. The more and more we're connected through smart devices and smart applications in this Internet of Things era and Internet of Things world, the more scrutiny surrounding security is arising. In particular, in this instance, the Japanese government has made an announcement that come February 20th this year, they're kind of starting a campaign to probe 200 million IP addresses connected with Japan. They're looking for lax or little or no security on these systems so that it can kind of close these holes as well as inform its citizens of any sort of issues. This is a massive attempt by a government to kind of tackle these issues, and it's really not based in paranoia. I mean, with the Internet of Things devices predicted to nearly double in the next couple of years. These are very important issues because these systems in smart homes and smart cities, most of them or a lot of them have microphones, cameras associated with them, and if we have lax security, whether it be lax passwords or any sort of other security flaws in our systems or weak security on those systems, the more we open our homes and our cities and our personal lives up for hackers to come in and attack, to extort, to just all around do bad things to us as citizens, which is no good. And I would say that really part of having a smart home, a smart city, smart devices surrounding our lives is really having smart security to back those devices. Uber's putting some money into tech training in San Francisco. It's putting some money behind some local nonprofits, those being Dev Mission, Code Tenderloin, and Opportunities for All. They've set aside $100,000 for each of these organizations in their words, they are committed to improving access to high quality jobs for residents in our hometown of San Francisco. Uber will also be providing some of their employees to help mentor and kind of foster this future tech talent. Giving back to communities like this and helping foster future tech talent is not only super good for companies like Uber, because of course this is where they're going to get their future employees, is by helping to raise them up and teach them the ins and the outs of the industry. But it's also really good to strengthen relationships between these big tech companies and the communities that they're a part of. Uber's certainly not the only company engaged in efforts like this, and I think we're going to see more and more of this as autonomous vehicles begin to grow and more of them start to hit the streets, and the industry grows and these companies grow. I think you're going to see more and more need for this talent, and so I think programs like this will be seen a lot more, which is of course very, very good for kind of raising up the future tech workers in the autonomous space. Anyways, this is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, would like to send me any articles, you can do so at john@autonomousjohn.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Have a great day.